let's start with Brat.
365 go. 365 go. 365.
Because like a lot of people do say that this has been a Brat year.
Bratty year,
Uh,
very bratty. Yes.
and when I look into the kind of aspects that it has influenced in, I feel like it says a lot of things that we are going through as a whole. Like as a race, I would say, at least let's say in my peer group, I think that I saw very prominently, and maybe that has something to say more about even others other than my peer group. But yeah, I think that would be a good place to start. So, like, I'll just put my thoughts first about Brat, and also introduce Brat a little bit for people who don't know. Firstly, I think Brat as a term, a lot of people would know, even if they don't know that there's a whole album behind this
Right.
term. Because I did find a lot of people saying that, like, using the term brat and knowing what brat meant as to being this careless person who kind of wins the I don't give a fuck war always, and does whatever they want to do. But let's talk about, okay, so Brat is an album by the singer and songwriter called Charli XCX. If you have not even if you haven't heard about Brat the album, you might have heard some of her songs, which include Boys, Boom Clap, Vroom Vroom. And if you have not heard that, some interesting facts about her also include that she has co-written Senorita, and Same Old Love. So Senorita by Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello, and Same Old Love by Selena Gomez. So she has like maybe that's how you kind of know her. This was an attempt at introducing her, and she has Indian heritage as well. So
Hey, represent!
yeah,
Represent!
yeah.
I learned this. I was 20 years old when I learned this.
Acha.
Yeah, I
Her
didn't know
mom,
Charli XCX has Indian heritage. I didn't know that.
yeah, Gujarati Indian.
Oh, what? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so but her mom was basically not staying in India. She belonged to a family who were Indian immigrants who were staying in
It's
Uganda.
still a win for the brown people.
It is still, of course, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, and she then married like a Scottish person. If I'm not wrong, I really hope I'm not wrong. And yeah, she grew up in, again, Britain is all I know. I don't exactly know which area, but yeah, that's a little bit about Charlie XEX. So, well, I have a few notes here, which kind of describes what was the concept of the album in Charlie's own words. So she says, I want to prove to people that you don't have to become this big commercial pop writing machine to be successful. She explains you can just do whatever you want and it will be fine. I'd like everyone to live a little and go a bit mental when they hear my music and just cover themselves in balloons and dance and roll around. That would be brilliant. I listened to this one interview of her on Apple Music, and in which she says ki she actually didn't see Brat blowing up so much. And Brat was one of those albums for her wherein she really went back to what she wants to say, she wants to talk about, and the kind of music she loves. And which also kind of reflected her. It reflected that attitude also reflected in terms of the album cover, album art, and I feel like the whole mood of the album as a whole. And it's very interesting how it could connect to, well, क्या बोलते हैं, the feeling as, क्या बोलते हैं, is it zeitgeist or what's the word for it?
Zeitgeist is spirit of time.
Yeah, I guess we could say that it somehow connected very well to it. I think most of the people that I talk to, in terms of like talk to with respect to Brat as the album, they have listened to, let's say, 360. They have listened to club classics. They have listened to 365. They have listened to Guess, because there's like a Billie Eilish remix of it and all that. But if you really go through the whole album, this album is quite a mix of party and then also a lot about what happens after the party is over, when basically the music stops you're out of the pub or like dance club or whatever, and it's this silence, and you're just like sitting at the side of the road, and then probably you're not getting a taxi, and then you are getting a little bit frustrated by it because you just want to go home now because, well, and in that silence of the night you kind of think about, okay, where you are at right now, what's happening with your life, and how do you want to take things ahead, or how have you kind of performed until the time that you were here.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of that.